The twos of the tarot correspond with the concept of duality. The suit of swords corresponds with the element of air and has an esoteric meaning of thought. So the two of swords represents the duality of thought. Hello, I'm Michael J. Auger, creator of the Allcento Tarot. In the Pythagorean system, numbers are considered to be plural. The number 1, being singular, represents the abstract spiritual truth of unity. And while the aces represent beginnings, they also represent endings. Aces are like the opening and ending credits of a movie, while the twos are like the real start to the story. In the Tree of Life, the second Sephirah is Hakma, or wisdom. This is known as illuminating intelligence. It is a reflection of the crown. With only 1 point, you won't get far, but with 2 points, a line can be made on which to travel. The second station reflects the first and creates the grand illusion of the material world that we call reality. The material world is the illusion of duality that allows us the ability to discern differences between things. The yin and yang symbol seen on the Book of the Popus in the Tarot by Oswald Wirth represents the mystical blending of opposite forces that make up all aspects of life. This truth usually remains hidden. With the veil lowered, we have the ability to classify things as this or that, left or right, hot or cold, alive or dead, me or you, us or them. Duality is responsible for all partnerships, but also all conflict. It is likely that this is the reason why in the book of Genesis, the second day of creation does not include the phrase, "and it was good." All the other days of creation end with that phrase. Therefore, the number 2 often has negative connotations, as in the expression two-faced. However, duality is essential for making sense of everything. There can be no way to measure the light without the darkness. Confronting our shadow self is required for illumination. The veil of the High Priestess is lowered so that we can experience the material. But while the illusion of duality is necessary, this is also what severs our pure unification to the divine. The High Priestess allows us to peek behind the veil to see that all is one, but she only provides us a quick peek, and this is only permitted if she deems us worthy. If not, the sacred mysteries in her book or scroll remain hidden. You cannot force this wisdom to be revealed. You must be in a passive and receptive state. You can think of the High Priestess as the artist's muse. You cannot force inspiration. You have to be open to it and just go with the flow. When you look at the tarot in repeating patterns of 10, what is traditionally the 12th triumph, known as the Hangman, is the second cycle of 2. Similar to the High Priestess, there is a theme of duality. The hangman is traditionally suspended from 2 trees, and being placed in this uncomfortable position, he's granted a different perspective. Sometimes a sacrifice is needed in order to make progress. The Allcento Tarot includes a 22nd triumph card as the 3rd cycle of 2 that is titled The Vision. The concept of duality is repeated as the division between the waking world and the realm of dreams, where sometimes divine visions are granted. The Allcento uses the symbol of crossed lines, forming an X, to emphasize the numerological connection of these major arcana cards. And this symbol continues into each of the 2s of the minor arcana. Today, we will take a closer look at the 2 of Swords. The suit of swords corresponds with thoughts. The duality of thought can represent 2 ideas that are either in partnership or in conflict. In the Marseille style tradition, it may be difficult for a beginner to even decipher that the curved shapes seen here are swords. The curved shape is most likely a stylized depiction of a scimitar or other curved sword from the earlier incarnations of playing cards where this type of sword was commonplace. The 2 swords are crossed, and this tension suggests thoughts that are in conflict. However, they also seem to be perfectly balanced, with neither sword dominating, making it a challenge to know which thought should be chosen. This suggests a mental stalemate that can only be overcome by seeking wisdom beyond the immediate options and looking within. We must block out bias and passively allow wisdom to come to us. Otherwise, we may become paralyzed and unable to make a decision. Peaceful meditation is the key, and this is hinted at by the blossoming flower within the two swords. The version of this card from the deck created by Arthur Edward Waite and Pamela Coleman Smith depicts a seated woman who balances two swords upon her shoulders. The swords are so long that the tips cannot be seen. This suggests the mental weight of trying to decide between two equally matched ideas. Waite describes this card as representing a balance of opposite forces, suggesting kindness or even affectionate tenderness, despite the suit of swords generally symbolizing harsher aspects of human affairs. Her crossed arms and legs squarely apart suggest she is prepared to defend the boundaries of a safe space of contemplation. The figure has blindfolded herself in order to block out distractions and outside influence. Without the use of her normal eyesight, she relies completely on her inner thoughts. Above her blindfold, there is a white spot which hints at the spiritual third eye that she sees from. The moon and water further suggest that intuition is at work. The low tide reveals rocks that are usually hidden. It is when we are in a passive and neutral state of peace that we are able to achieve the deepest wisdom. The Thoth Tarot, created by Aleister Crowley and Lady Frida Harris, depicts two swords that cross in the center of the card, where they are united by a blue rose with 5 petals. The blue rose emits white rays of equal geometric patterns in all 4 directions. In the Book of Thoth, Crowley explains that the suit of swords is always complicated and subject to change. However, due to the exaltation of Chakma, this card manifests the very best idea possible, which is the idea of peace. This is further emphasized by the celestial attributes of the moon, representing peaceful transition, and Libra, representing balance. Together, they are able to regulate the ideas of conflict, anxiety, and disruption with the harmonizing, perhaps even motherly, energies of understanding and tranquility. And here's the Two of Swords of the Allcento Tarot. The Lady of Peace has removed herself from distraction and is in a deep state of meditation with eyes closed. Incense smoke flows upward from a golden censer, cleansing her space from exterior stress and turmoil so that she can clear her thoughts and focus them. Outside the boundary of her chamber, 2 equally matched men cross swords, indicating a difficult choice. There is a need for careful diplomacy for peace to be restored. An inner search for truth and meaning is essential for tranquility. However, there is a keyhole over her heart, hinting that some secrets are only divulged when there is a tender approach. This card signifies a duality of thought and deliberation between a pair of alternate options. This quandary can be solved and peace restored by passive reflection and meditation. Allow an escape from distraction and discord in order to receive wisdom from the higher self. Reversed aspects indicate stress caused by not allowing time or space to contemplate. We must make sure to allow time for peaceful reflection. In the next episode, we will continue our exploration with the Two of Cups. So make sure you're subscribed, and please give this episode a thumbs up and drop me a comment to share your support. I also encourage you to visit my website, offbeatartwork.com. And until next time, brightest blessings on your spiritual journey.